Thank you for taking the time to view my video. I'm doing this video to talk about workplace abuse. So let me start with a quote by Colin Kaepernick. Even if it means sacrificing everything, believe in something. I did sacrifice everything just to stand up for my right, my customer right, my colleagues' right. I work for TD Bank for the past 11 years. The first 3 years I was at the fraud department, was up and down, but was not bad. In 2008, so from 2008 to 2016 was hell on earth. I was working just for a group of mobsters. And I will go through that. So from insecure place to work, racism place to work, I have seen everything. But the most important thing why I'm doing this video, especially because the system in general in Canada, the system is rigged. I went through lawyers, through human rights. There is no right. The only right that you have is, first of all, make sure you are not black. Although you hear the Prime Minister going around talking about diversity, blah, 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 but I don't know if he understands diversity. He will never understand. Because this guy talk about diversity just to have a group of people voting for him. He should start by looking at what he did to the first refugee Minister of Immigration, who went through everything to get where he is. He studied, he's a lawyer, but he will never be Canadian. He's second, third, fourth level Canadian. He could not even stand for the person he nominated when a group of people was after him, although he's new in the business, to ask the Prime Minister to remove him from a task that it's included in his agenda. Imagine, no one in the history of Canada have seen a Prime Minister remove a minister from his task. That's our Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau. You should be proud of him. So, everything that I'm going to tell you is backed up by information that I had. Like I was telling you, from 2008 to 2010, I was harassed by a group of people, especially one, the leader of the group, for the only reason that I can come up with was my religion. This guy he is very dangerous. It's up to you to decide whether you have to do an investigation. See, I'm gone from there. He was vicious. He was a fraudster. It was everything that you can see in a bad manager. This guy should have never continued to be there. but it's still there. So during those times, 2008, 2010, we had an AVP who rely only on him, because if you see his mouth is it's honey when he talks to big people. He's manipulator. He's very dangerous guy. And he had a group of team leader under him that he nourished, he gave them everything that they need, and they were doing exactly what he wanted to do. Now, I don't know how the company knew that there was fraud going on. So the only one that's gonna have to pay is the AVP. The AVP had resigned because he said, I did not do my job. It's not because he rely on this guy. He trusted him. He thought he had the right person in place. So he left. He resigned. The one after him, the senior manager, has to go to another department as well. And from his mouth, he said, I don't talk anymore with so-and-so. There was so many fraud. I trusted him, blah, blah, blah. But I put him to another position within TD. I said, why? If you did not trust him, why even you give reference for this guy? This guy should go to jail. But I cannot tell you what he has done to me because it's going to take hours. So during that time, he had a website where he was bringing people from outside because early 2000, it was hard to find a francophone, a bilingual. The bilingual that was in Toronto were most of the time black, coming from a colonized country. He did not want to hire those people. So he used to bring people who come in vacation for 3-4 months, get $2,000 per person because they reward you when you bring people. $2,000 per person. And so they do their training. They work maybe 2-3 weeks and then they go back home. I am still in touch with one of them. He was an ophthalmologist and he came here just to have fun. And he got money. He did not even thought it was easy. But we had to struggle because not only did he lose money by offering a training and then another training for another group, and then less money on the floor, less people on the floor, so customer has to wait longer, and when they are frustrated, they go somewhere else. But TD executive doesn't know what's going on at our level. I was a call center agent. So they are too good to come visit from time to time and see the reality and speak with everyone without discrimination. Not only the few that they pick when they come once a year for their visit, they pick 1 and 2 from here and there, the ones that are kissing their ring every day. So that's how it works. So it gave me a hard time. I had to report. The senior manager said to me, I should have listened to you. It was too late. The money was... I have been told no bribery. If your customer wants to give you a gift, you have to say, no, this is my job. But there, it was TV coming, those video game, everything from the customer, gift card, everything. But once during all those years, 2008, 2010 or 11, I had one gift card of $5. My team leader who gave me that, my goodness, you hear him for hours to tell him why, until my team leader said, I'm going to pay you back. This lady deserves $5. While people has the TV, have everything, she has only $5. I'm going to pay you back. And he was yelling because my team leader was not far from me. He did not even take him to the office, just showing me how he can step on me in every level. So before he left, he brought his best friend, same category. I'm not giving you the ethnic background because I don't want to go there. You will discover yourself one day who those people are. Another bad guy, I don't know even why they are there. As a manager, call quality, but the call quality, they are monitoring even the Chinese call quality are monitored. French, no. Why? Because the only French people who they hire are from French immersion, just to avoid the African one. So why are they going to monitor them? They are struggling with their French. So who are the French caller that call us? They don't care about them. This guy he was an agent prior to be a manager. He used to tell us, when I work at night shift and the customer is upset and he asks for a manager, I used to transfer him to so-and-so, another agent, and same thing, vice versa. If the other one had a problem, and then we just calm him down like that. This is a manager. It doesn't even transfer the call to a manager to fix the problem. That's how bad it was. But nobody wanted to hear. Because when he is in front of them, Lord have mercy. Anyhow, so I was being wronged. They treat me slave. When Barack Obama became president, I was so happy because I lived in a colonized country. So for me to see a black person becoming the first leader of USA was something. I was so happy, I was crying. They told me straightforward, but don't forget, he's a slave, and you guys are descendant of slave. This guy made a mistake by choosing the White House. This is not a black house, and so I cannot describe you. So I reported. You know what this guy said? Oh, but they were joking. Nothing to worry about. I went to HR. It was put on file. guys came every day with a banana, eating banana in front of me. I love bananas, so I never even make the link between banana and monkey. Never, because that's even doesn't come up in my mind. And every day, oh, do you love banana? I said, yes. And I was laughing with them until one of them told me they are talking about you. You are a monkey. I have been called children of Biafra. A Somali guy from Djibouti. I am from Djibouti. Lost a lot of weight because he became diabetic. He became everything in that place. I became diabetic myself with the stress. He used to tell me when he saw one manager, he used to tell me, "Wadnihiba igoaya." That's mean my stomach is in two pieces when he sees those people. So this guy lost weight, and one lady came to us and said to him, "Oh my God, you look exactly like those people on TV, skeleton." And she went on to say, we used to call them Biafra. The young guy doesn't want problem, he knows. We just smiled with her. I was not smiling. I saw red. That's why they did not like me over there, because I stand for my right. I don't care if I lose everything, but this is how I grow up. I cannot shut my mouth. And so I went to HR. HR, of course, wanted a witness. This young man said, "I don't want a problem. I used to have a bad job, blah, blah." He was against me instead. I did not make a big deal, but there was more than that. So I said, even if it was toward him and a witness against me, that's fine. I have more proof than that. And the lady did not deny it. She said, she said. So my friend felt bad because the lady confirmed what I said to HR. And she turned to me and she said, "You know what? I'm also from Africa. I came from Tanzania." But you see, I said to her, in Tanzania, in Djibouti, there is a lot of ethnic. They are not our people. They are not black people. So you can call yourself whatever you want. You are not African. You just live there, and we African was working for you guys. That's why you call us slave. I don't want to even tell you what ethnicity she is. And I will tell you, through all that, the racism that I have been through was done by not white people. The white people are on the top, using those people from every ethnicity to bully you, to insult you, and they hide behind that. When they do something like that, they put their name on the board. They said, "Oh, so-and-so had a promoter, so-and-so did a great job, blah, blah, blah." So you cannot say, "Oh, my AVP was a racist," because she's not the one who's going to utter any racist comment. But she hears it every day, and she knows it. So those people still continue and she's aware. So what do you call her? I don't know. Anyway, it's too long. So all that was recorded. In 2013, I decided it was too much. They were changing my scorecard. I could not have any training. My colleague has to hide the training PowerPoint to give me any change. I was working on those devices where you swipe your card at any point of sale. And I was technician over the phone. And from time to time, they change the version for security reason. So if the version is not spread to the floor, you have the old version. So when a customer calls you, you continue to do the troubleshooting, but it goes nowhere because the numbers are different. If I did not get the numbers, the right numbers, so I can spend 1 hour for nothing. And it was all in purpose until somebody had to hide to give me that. And the customer is struggling because there is a lineup waiting for that. Nobody nowadays pay in cash. I cannot describe you how, just to put me down, because I was one of the best in my work. I was researching, doing everything by myself. So how to defend yourself in case like that? There was 5 white people, not even 5, working in my department. One I will always remember, a young guy. He was like a dog after the majority of this ethnicity in my workplace. Just to get those information, like I'm telling you the version, because it was not spread. It was just hidden for them. I always say to myself, but I'm not asking that for my son, my daughter. This is for TD customer. Come on. That's how we used to work in this kind of environment. The lady who was managing this department, she had also another department, 2 departments, just for the sake of the bonuses. She was never there for 4 years. She was doing her MBA from home. She gave all the tools to the worse and worse, like I said, that manager, the friend of the other one. So the same group are still around TD Merchant Services. She comes from time to time, and even if you report to her all those trouble, she doesn't want to hear, because who is doing the job? Those managers that she put there, giving her false numbers, false stuff. She was focusing on her MBA. This is a girl who came from high school, worked for the past 25 years at TD. In 25 years, without anything, got up all the way to AVP. I know people from TD who work for 25 years, they are still financial advisors at level 4. Imagine. Boom. Because she knows how to get there. So I decided to write to the CEO to tell him all my story, all what was going there. He asked the ombudsman to open an investigation. Guess what? I did not even meet with the ombudsman. They did a thorough investigation. 3 managers with this guy that I was talking about, and 1 HR representative gone from the place. Gone. Now, whether they were the ombudsman asked to fire them, I don't know. But they were put into any department, demoted from their title, and waiting. A year later, 2014, this CEO went to retirement. As soon as he left, boom, they all back under the same AVP. And guess what? Oh, they were mad at me. They were upset. And they were preparing a very good coup. Now, the racist comment, the mingling with my score, all that was nothing for them. They knew that they will go nowhere. I'm still there. I'm still doing my job. Even though they were changing my score, they put a bad person just close to you, and when the score comes, they just switch name and put you down. But as a bilingual, they needed me as well. I was their slave. When I was taking 60 call, 70 call per day, they were sitting there, the other people near me, and they even went to the AVP and said why she's the only one taking call. They were putting me in every call. Escalation, bad call, long call. I used to miss my lunch, miss my break. Everything against me. They don't pay me for that. They even mingle with my salary. We used to have another department when we call for absentees. Now this AVP brought everything to her department. So even the absentees is done by them, this department. So they put me absent. They send that to HR, the lady in HR, an old lady. I hope she left for retirement. Evil. This lady was the best friend, and it's a long story. They were doing whatever they wanted. But that did not stop me, because even if I had a small salary, God bless my salary. With this salary, I paid the tuition for my 2 children. They never took OSAP. They never took a loan for their study. I bought a house. I send money every month. Even today that I'm not working, my 2 children took over everything. Because here in Canada, the other system is the assistance. Even if you call to get an employment, which you work all your life and never ask an employment, even if when you call for an employment, they have to talk with your employer why you were fired or why you were gone or why. I never understood. You call my employer, what is going to tell you? And then they said, you cannot have employment until you make a mess, you do an appeal and this, and then they accept. Even that. So why people will talk? They are afraid. People are afraid to stand up. They have no way to win. after all that, they came back, like I said, the problem is getting worse. This time, they said we have to get into the system to bother her. So while I was in the system, they were logging with alias password. It's easy to check. I give them the time. I give them the day to go into the server and to check who is in the system. The system was, the problem was done by AVP was aware. The senior manager was aware who was going there. And the gangster, a young boy who was manipulated to do all that, was there. They knew who was doing. Why they're going to open an investigation to do all that? And this time they have their best friend as executive and a new CEO who, as soon as he get there, he fire 1,000 people. He laid off 1,000 people. Guess what? To get 10% of raise the first year, 9 million in compensation. I'm not saying that, you just Google and you will see all that. That's why he needed to get rid of thousands and thousands of people. So they said, this is the best time. We have our friend as executive. We have a new CEO who doesn't know nothing about it, who his only problem is money. So let's get rid of her. I write naively to the CEO, you refer me, guess where? To HR. Who are the HR? The same people who work for the same company. Do you think they're going to take the risk to say this happened? And it was not even at the level of management. It was just a young representative who knows nothing about compliance, who knows nothing about server search. And she said, all your funding is unfunded. Ah bon? I said, but I get very sick. I was so shocked. No third party to do an investigation? That serious? Getting into my system? That's mean they can transfer money, they can steal money from customers and say it's me? That's what I'm saying. When it was racism comment, when it was all that, it was painful. But I could handle it because those words, N word, B word, F word, whatever word, doesn't stick in me. I was still putting food on the table. And I can ignore it. Not because I'm an old lady, like they were saying. I did not have even a name. An old lady has a feeling, the same feeling as you do. But because I could have just put it aside and continue for a couple of years. But they went too far. Now it's mangling with the system, which is scary. And you know, and you have read so many bank employees do fraud. So what's going to happen? No, I never went from my country to come here and to go to jail. No way. I became so sick. I was already diabetic, anxiety, depression. So I took 2 weeks off. My doctor said, you have to stay. During those 2 weeks, they put me out. I went to see a lawyer. Like I told you at the beginning, the entire system is corrupt. Not only misled me, I paid. And TD was working with him. They pay him also. Instead to tell me, and I was insisting, please, this is what I want. I want those people to recognize, to do investigation, to secure the system. But he was talking about money. I'm going to get you a severance package. What is the severance package? It's nothing for the bank. They give you a couple of months, and then they replace you with cheaper one, and they continue. So I fought for 10 years just to let them continue. I said, no way. So I explained to this guy. It was going back and forth. Oh, you know what? They decide to give you 10 more thousand, 10 more thousand, 10 more, and so forth until I stopped. But at that time, I did not know that I could have not even spent a penny and go directly to the labor board. I don't know what they could have done for me, but anyway. But 90 days passed, and this guy was just goofing around. He should not even have his license. Then after that, I went through a dozen of lawyers. I cannot explain to you how they play game. The first thing they ask you, who is your employer? You open your mouth, you say TD Bank. Boom. Oh, we have a conflict of interest. Because they know you are just a call center agent. How much you going to bring to them? Another 5,000, 10,000? But that's not what they want. They want 100,000 before they touch your case. So I learned a lot during those 2 years. After going from one to another, same deception, and all of them wanted to go with what TD offered. None of them even check one piece of proof that they can start the problem with. I was so disgusted. Then I went to see the human right. Human right took about 10 months before they start even. And when they start, the lady was calling me over the phone, telling me this. TD doesn't want to do anything, but they want to continue what they started with your lawyer, blah, blah, blah. So I was surprised that we are going to the same way as the lawyers. So where are the human rights? You don't try to see what happened. You don't open an investigation. You go by what they are saying. They are very strong, TD Bank. Now, just before I went to the human rights, I needed my employment file. One of the lawyers asked me. So you don't know even, when you want something, you don't know even who you have to talk to at TD. You don't know, because it's only those HR counselor that deal with you at your level, because you are nothing. You are black, you are call center, you are an old lady. Who's going to deal with you? No one. You are not even a human being. And I'm talking about Canada, a country that the entire world think that the best country. You don't know the reality. People doesn't talk, zip, because they go nowhere. That's why, and if you talk, you are going around, and I will prove you in a minute. So this girl, so I wrote to one of the HR executive. I thought maybe by going up like that, I will find something. Like I said, I'm nothing for her, but I know I'm better than her, because as an executive, like she think all the diploma, I don't know even if she has diploma, she would have done what I have done in my life, coming from a country alone without English language in my pocket and being where I am. I don't know even if she has a house. Most of them live in a basement. I am proud of me. I'm not nothing. I'm somebody. I'm a mother. I'm auntie. So she put me through four. She put me through one agent. This agent put me through another. This one put me through another, just to have my file. Guess what? The first one sent me a garbage. I can't describe you how rude they are. Not only that, but she sent me an email telling me that TD was right when they fired me. Did I call her to talk about that? No. I'm asking my file. And you bully me after a year? I'm left? I'm gone? I left a year ago. And you bully me again? That's how. I have no right as a citizen in this country. Where to go, to whom to explain my situation. That's why I'm doing this video. This is how a TD bully you. Not only everything was unfunded, like they said, but you continue to bully me. And the worst of all that, guess what? HR is communicating with this person for mediation. Isn't it insult to injury? So HR asked me first to sign a form. She said, no, when she called me several times over the phone, I said, sometimes I don't understand what you are saying. Can you email me what exactly TD said, and let's move on. I want to have a proof that even with you, they settled this. This is my right. Then she said, oh, if you want that, I won't go back to TD back and forth unless you sign this form. So she sent me a form. I signed it, and she said I will sign it and TD has to sign it. They never sent me anything. I keep on asking her, where is the file? Where is the form? Why you don't send me back? Then she said she knew that she was dealing with somebody who is bullying me. That's why she did not want to send. Then she had no choice and to say to me, I'm going to send you the form and I'm dealing with so-and-so. You know what? Even the firing, even the 10 years of hardship that I went through did not make me cry like I cried when human right tell me that she's dealing with my aggressor. I cried all night. I said to myself, where to go? They make it in purpose. Wait until the last minute, because we have also the status of limitation, which is 2 years, ending on September 20th. And today we are September 12th, in 8 days. Where to go? Everything is rigged. You put even somebody who, a criminal, doesn't have a status of limitation because he can go on appeal. Where do you want me to go on appeal when no case goes even to trial, no case goes to a judge, because they are telling you we do not take your case to a judge. If a judge wake up in a bad mood or has a bad day and all judge doesn't understand your case, you're going to waste your money for nothing. Where do you hear stuff like that? Not even in the third world. And we are criticizing the third world by saying there is no justice, there is no law, there is no judge. Here in Canada, no one wants to take my case to a judge. A criminal doesn't pay a penny. We pay as a taxpayer for him. And if he's not satisfied, he does an appeal, he goes further. A worker, for my right, with all my proof, I can do that. And worse than that, a year after I left, 2017, thousands of people called the CBC to report the same thing that I was talking about. And I will go through that in a second. Same thing. Whether it's the security of accounts, the security of the system, or all corruption that they ask you to do, and everything else. They did not want to give their name because they were still working and they were afraid. And I don't blame them. Going through what I have gone, I will have still do the same thing because that's my nature. But trust me, it's not easy. 2 years of hell. Even worse than what you have been through when you were working. Bully after bully, whether it's the lawyer who bully you, the HR who continue to bully you, and the human right. So when I heard that, I wrote to the CBC as well. But I said, I'm willing to come forward and detail. I give her all detail because she wanted to have all the detail. Do you think she will call me? No. Prime Minister is every morning with the CBC on call conference. They know what they're going to talk about. They know what they cannot talk about. Because I wrote to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He did not take even a pen, to write me, I'm sorry. But when he heard about the little girl who has her scarf cut, he ran all over with this story, talking about Islamophobia, talking about diversity, talking about, and I don't blame the little girl. Don't take me wrong. This girl must suffer from something. She's afraid of something. She did make up this story for a reason, and has nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's just to show you how those politicians work all over. But Didi went on TV to talk about thousands of people, thousands, not me only, thousands of people crying for help. And I asked him to do something, a new bill, a new security. What did he do? Nothing. That's why the CBC could not even put me in the front. Why? Lobbyist, special interest, money. It's all in the name of money. That is what we live in Canada. Now, I'm going to go through, it's going to be too long because I will never be able to tell you everything. This is 2017, when people called the CBC. You can Google and you will see. Here. I was forced to lie to customer. Thousands of people. TD employees across the country, some of whom admit they have broken the law at their customer expense in a desperate bid to meet sales target and keep their job. Hundreds of current and former TD Bank employees wrote to Go Public. They describe the place as a pressure cooker environment. I can tell you this is true. They say it's poisoned, stress-induced, insane, and zero focus on ethics. Zero. They conceal their identity. I don't blame them. Another one said, TD branch, she's in Windsor. So it's not just Toronto where I am. It's all over Canada. She admits she increased customer line of credit without the customer knowledge. Every day. In my case, like I said, I was working with devices. So customer call, I'm a technician. Customer call to ask somebody to repair his device. He has a long queue. And most of the time, people who call are cashier. The owner is not there. Big company like Walmart or whatever, you think the owner is there to call me for? No, it's a customer. It's a cashier, sorry. Do you sell to a cashier product? No. They put, and the owner is not even aware of how many products we put on his file. How many things we have increased, done whatever, because the customer is in rush. Sometimes they say, okay. But that's wrong, against the law. And there was a couple of bad people in our floor who just do it. So the manager comes to you and say, this guy has hundreds of sales and you cannot do that. What you gonna say? I'm not stealing the customer. I'm not. You do whatever you want with me. Yell at me all day long. And my business, it's not even sales. There is a specific place for sales department. They deal with sales. I'm technician over the phone. How can I sell? Yes, sometimes I have the right customer. I will sell a product that is in need. Say, for example, viewing his business online. I'm going to sell it because I don't know even why they sell it. $2 to view your own business. Anyway, where they go everywhere to get money. It's just disgusting. It will take too long for me to explain to you what they are doing. So I said, no, I won't do it. They asked me to give customer information to people, to salespeople. So there is two sales. One, they are at the office and they sell all day long. Sales representative. And you have other sales representative that they go all over. They are mobile, so they go all over looking for customers. So I don't know, for some reason, those on the street, they don't have access to the same thing as the sales department have, but they are sales. So I always wonder why those people has to call me to have customer information. Customers that are closed for years. I don't know if even they are dead. So I said no. And I was harassed. So I said to the manager, send me an email. Make sure you change the policy. And then I will do what you are asking me, because if something happened, I have a proof. I was harassed every day. Why others are doing it and you are not doing it? I don't care about others. They have no conscience. It's all about bonus. It's all about money. I'm doing this video because I would like to see those executives listening and go and sit down with people. Not once a year before bonus. No. Go every time you can without even announcing. And pick anyone. Don't wait for HR to tell you who you're going to talk to today. This is the only thing that you can do to secure this bank, if you want really to do something. The rest is just nonsense. I have been asked to, we have also a technician who go when we cannot do anything over the phone, so we send a technician. Technician goes and deal with the device. But there is a note on the file when he goes to touch any device. And we know who went there. We know everything. One day a lady called me and she said, somebody will come to mingle with my device. I check her file, nothing. No, but I said to her, don't, because there is fraudster who goes around and put devices to just collect all information. Boy, I was harassed. An email went on the floor with my name on the email saying that I'm not doing my job, blah, 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 blah. I explained to the lady. This lady knew nothing about the business. She was hired at the end for the past 2 years. Nothing. She is the worst of the worst. She gave all her password, everything, to those young people who used to mingle, because before her, at least, there was other problem, but there was not the problem to go into the system. Since she came from American Express where people were complaining about her. Nobody checked even why she was fired from American Express. She come here and she doesn't know. So she give all her job she spread it. People on the floor was always upset. I'm tired to do her job. I'm tired to do her job. That's how she was doing. And the AVP was never there to check. So at the end, she gets on a plate all the false information. And she's happy because they have to give her good information. Even the survey that every year they said, oh, TD Bank win or CIBC win. Those surveys are false. They pick the best call and period. So that's why there is no improvement. When my children was young, when they used to come from school, I never asked them what was the good day for them. No, I was asking them every day when they come from school, what went wrong today? My children sit down, cry, and tell me, I could not do this. I could not do this algebra. I could not do this. And if I can help them, I help them. If I cannot, I hire students from university to come home to help them. Guess what? My children, both of them, they were named as gifted. They are not gifted. They had all the tools here. They did not have higher IQ than next door. I just give them all the tool to help them here. My son graduated 2 years ago because I lost my job. He had to go work to help his sister to catch up my mortgage and all the things. He graduated from the University of Toronto, Bachelor of Neuroscience. All his elementary and high school, you can go check. He did it at St. Michael Choir School. He was #1 on every subject, including piano. He had his certificate up to grade 8 piano from how do you call the symphony of whatever. He got his piano diploma. When they go on tour, he was the only one singing solo all those years until grade 12. They used to tell me he's in a gifted. My daughter, same thing. They said she's a gifted. No, because this is how you do. You go, you look for what are the struggle. But TD Bank goes for who has the best score. It's lie. So if I did not have the best score for 11 years, why you keep me? And guess what? Why they fire me? They said I have to go back to work because they have no French speaking. I had French speaking who could not even make a difference between temporary and permanent. When the customer asked them, is it temporary or is it permanent? They could not even understand which one is it. They had to run and ask me, what is it? This is what we had. And I'm not saying that just to hurt. But I'm saying because there is no exam, there is no body who's going to listen those calls. And the worst of everything, I want to ask you, I hope you will have the time to listen this. I don't want to make it too long. When we choose a prime minister, he pledged an oath to protect us inside and outside, right? When we put a CEO at the bank, does he pledge an oath to protect us? Why I'm saying that? Nobody knows you like the bank. Nobody knows you like the bank. I know generally what my children have, or my husband have, or my sister has, but I don't know anything in detail. And you too. Your husband or your wife can tell you, I'm going for work in a seminar, or I'm going to another province, and he's just here at the hotel with his mistress. You don't know that. The bank knows it because he just swipe his card at the hotel. You don't know everything that your husband or your wife have. Maybe he has an account that he never told you, or she has an account that she never told you. The bank knows it. They know how many mortgages you have. They know everything. So why a CEO or all those executives who has a power doesn't swear to protect us? And why they have indefinite term? That's not normal. That's not normal. I'm going to just go through a couple of things before I close, because I really appreciate your time. So those are thousands of people. Some said, I could not sleep. I'll be thinking, what can I do tomorrow to try to get sales? Can you imagine? You sleep like that? This is a job? One wrote, many TD workers wrote to say they are on medical leave, suffering from anxiety, from depression. God help us. Now, I was telling you that they were getting, this is the time where I became really scared, when they get into my system. And they said, doesn't happen. Okay, so this is a girl who wrote also to the CBC. Oh, sorry. You can Google and see. Her name is Robin West. You Google Robin West and you will see. Here what the privacy complaint said, because she complained her friend was going into her system and checking. It's easy. I have your phone number. I'm going to put it and know exactly everything that I need, whether it's against you or to do anything with it. There is no security. We take, so the privacy complaint who investigate the bank say, we take privacy complaint very seriously and address all incidents thoroughly and decisively. West said the problem began in early 2017 with a little bit of jealousy. So her friend was going around her stuff. I'm going to just read you very quickly. So the ombudsman did an investigation for her. The ombudsman did an investigation for her. Is it because she's white? And they thought, this is a serious? Not for me. And the bank gave her 200. She paid a lawyer 2,500. So that's one thing. Because with the server, with the stroke of key, they can see who open your file, this file, that file. They don't want to secure that. In the government, if you open a file that you are not supposed to do that, they fire you. They have all the system. Why not TD? And when I asked, they said, oh, it costs too much. So, Anne Cavoukian, privacy expert. Anytime there is a breach relating to your personal data, people should be notified. In Canada, there is no way to know how many breaches there are because unlike most US states or European country, no mandatory requirement exists for company to report them. It's voluntary. I don't need to tell you more than that. Those are the experts. Marc Roger Gagné, a security expert, said, because our information is also overseas, India, Philippines, for cheap labor. So they Canada criticized when the building, you remember, in Bangladesh killed so many people, and they were outrageous about Walmart and so forth for cheap labor. They are doing the same thing. They are sending our information, which is worse. Our identity, everything is overseas. So I'm wondering, why do you surveil the border, the airport, for terrorism? You don't know even what's going on here in the bank. Let me tell you, there was a girl who, one of our agents used to go to Starbucks coffee shop, and the girl who used to serve her was very nice, very kind. And don't take me wrong, this girl is very good at her work. She offered her the job. She get hired. I was hired. I never did a background check. This is a bank. They don't do a background check. People are hired. A friend, and if I bring a friend, they give me 2,000 because she's bilingual. She's unilingual, 1,000. You get paid. So if I am myself Bundy gangster, I bring another gangster. The worst is those people, the team leader in my department. Let me tell you, I don't even give them a qualificative. If they can mingle with the numbers to get where they are, tell me what they can do. They have the system, the entire system of TD Canada Trust in their home, TD Bank in their home, to do their business there. If their boyfriend or their girlfriend, she is a thief, she can access also. Who tell you they don't? Share with everyone. You cannot imagine. I have heard so many things. It's going to be too long. So let me wrap up with this. So this Mr. Gagné is saying it gives them another point of entry when they outsource your information. So it gives them another point of entry aside from the server in Toronto. Your data is exposed at another end instead of just one centralized area, Toronto. They don't care, it's cheaper. This is another lady who, by the name of Mosher, you can Google, you will see Mosher. She also wrote to the whistleblower hotline. They said there is a whistleblower hotline. It's all of them. And nobody cared about that. And only went public after her concerns were not addressed. So they can tell you they're going to put a hotline, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Nothing will happen until you, the people, will ask the government to remove those people. Those people has to go. And I'm not doing that for vengeance. I'm just let you know nothing will change. We are in 2018, and this is when this girl said they were mingling with her staff. After that, I did write also to the Financial Commission, whatever you call it, FCAC, Financial Consumer Agency, to explain my situation. They said they're going to open an investigation, blah, 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 blah. That was in 2016. After all that, the Financial Consumer Agency said they have not enough proof. One employer said she was stunned to hear that because they were waiting. I have been waiting for a year for this report, she said. It's very hard because it doesn't feel accurate. So they are lost. It's all about lobbyists. It's all about, you talk about the bank. What those people, they have nothing. They just stay and cry all night, getting chronic disease after chronic disease. I'm asking if somebody can hear this video to do something about it. It's just painful. I am lucky because by the end of this year, I have no more mortgage. I have a roof. I have food on the table. I speak 5 languages. I'm finishing a course that I'm taking for interpreter. I can work from home. I can work as a freelance interpreter. But there is people who has 1 language, who are a new mother who just took a mortgage. Can you see how they ruin your life? That's why I refused to take their money. They wanted me to sign an NDA, not to explain to the world the situation for a crumb of money. I refuse. Because those people, they are my sister, my brother, and most of all, they are like my children, crying for help. Where is the system? Where is the government? This one, first of all, I'm not sure. If you guys don't do something, the only way is to vote. And please don't take this video to go with your opponent, but trust me, if he could not even stand for his minister and remove him from task that every immigration minister has done up to date, what can he do for us? Is it because he's black? Is it because he came as a refugee? My goodness. What are we talking about? You know, I'd rather lose in dignity. That's for Mr. Hussein. I'd rather lose in dignity than being victorious in this kind of I don't want to be victorious like that and bend and continue to mop the floor. No. No, 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 no. I can't do that. I cannot do that. The bank has to be regulated. They are saying it's federally regulated. No. There is no regulation. They have their own regulation. The watchdog is from them. Everything is done by them. Hotline is them. HR is them. The worst corrupt people are in HR. Can you even imagine? For 11 years, not one black HR I have seen. How I can be represented when I talk about racism? Something has to be done. That's for another video. Couple of 2 weeks ago, I believe, I heard on the news somebody put 40,000 in a GIC account in Canada. Came back a couple of years later, there is no trace. Thank God he has all the certificate. This is a bank who doesn't know even where the money is. Those executives that are sitting doing nothing, they have to get up on the floor. Up on the floor, visit. You will see what manager is there without even signaling anything. That's the only way you're going to get to the truth and put those people out. We deserve better. The country deserves better. Background check. People has to provide, if they have diploma, or if they don't have, they can pass a test. Like everybody, like the government, you can't get into the government without going through so many things for a simple job. Why not the bank? Unbelievable. Do you know what they are bringing? False documentation. False, it's so funny. They were talking on the floor. Oh, you know what? If you want to go up, 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 just bring, I can, for $20, I can bring you a false master, a false this, a false that. Where are we going? False MBA. Nobody checked that. I could not even get to senior level after 10 years, when people get to senior agent in 1 year. And I had my diploma from Centennial College. And I'm finishing one now in December from Seneca, like I told you, as an interpreter. Could not get to senior. Yes, I have an accent. Yes. Did you hear me speak my first language, French? No. So I started with a premium of 92 cents in 2005 for my premium. I end up in 2016, guess how much? $1.02 for my premium per hour. Mr. CEO, 10% of his salary the first year with $9 million in bonuses. And who takes the call all day long? It's me, not him. Who struggles with the customer? It's me, not him. So I'm going to ask also the customers, please don't be rude with those agents. They suffer. You come on board, I understand where you come from. You are pissed off with everything that the bank do to you. And you call names, you scream. We are human beings like you. You don't know how much we fought for you. An 82 years lady came for a loan for her son. The customer was pushed by her manager to put her in a debt of $250,000 line of credit. And the 82 years lady said to the agent, I trust you. She did not know even what she was doing for her. When the manager left, the representative, heartbroken, had to tell her slowly, don't take it. This is how we fight for you. You don't know. And we are at the front, and we are the one who get yelled, insult, both from you and from the management. And we go home, we cry. So please, think about us too. So you also can do something, not only for you, but for us. So let's go together, try to see what we can do. And like I said, every election has a consequence. If Mr. Justin Trudeau doesn't want to deal with this for the past 2 years, you have the final word. Vote. Just vote. Let me know. Let me see what we can do together. And we will certainly, I will be more than happy to do that. And like I said, I'm not I'm not here for vengeance or to bother anyone. So I'm gonna end up this with two quotes. Yeah, also I wanted to touch up quickly with the Employment Equity Act. This was an act to balance the discrimination. But this act, you know what it did? It just gave for some company the go-ahead and hire their own people. So you go in some places, you see just one ethnic. Now, there is no balance. And like I said earlier, you can see even white people who are discriminated because they are alone and they feel, and then you understand why with their frustration comes what's going on in the world. Canada first, US first, it's those politicians who bring all those mess and they put us one against the other. It should not be that way. And I saw that from my own eyes. So that should not happen. And go see TD, who is working there, and you will see whether I'm lying to you or not. So let me conclude with that. So in Proverbs 31:8-9, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the right of the poor and needy. So we need somebody who can speak up for us. Now, what I have done might go silence, but I have done my part. So here another quote from James Baldwin. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So do not be afraid whether you are a janitor or you are prime minister. Speak up. Show the example. What has been done to you will be done to your children if you don't talk. So nothing will cut your... You have the education, you can go and find something else. Look at me. At this age, who's going to hire you? But I did not give up. I have faith in me. I know that I can do much more. And I will continue to fight anywhere I go. So I thank you so much for your time, especially for your time. And let's do something together. God bless you.